Found my diaries, 2007-2008. And on Wednesday, January 16th, after I'd contacted the brilliant Peter Bowles to ask him for an interview, this is what I wrote. I got a text at 5:50 p.m. tonight saying I had a voicemail message. So I dialed my voicemail number, and to my annoyance, it was a message left on the 4th of January, so 2 weeks earlier almost. More to my disappointment, it was TV legend Peter Bowles, star of To the Man Born. He said, "Hello, Chris. It's Peter Bowles." I just couldn't believe it. I had to play it twice just to believe it. Wish I had a copy of this still. He'd rang because I'd emailed his agent a couple of weeks ago, requested an interview for St. Luke's Sound, the hospital radio station that I worked on. I rang him back and I apologised for the delay. He said, "I'm unable to talk to you now, but if you call back tomorrow morning, I can speak to you then." So my diary continues then on the Thursday, the 17th of January, 2008. This morning I rang Peter Bowles back. I've arranged to call him Tuesday at 6 to record an interview over the telephone. He's got a film out in a couple of weeks' time. Apart from that, he's happy with any question I ask him. So my diary then moves on to the 22nd of January, 2008. And I put, it was my interview tonight with actor Peter Bowles, star of To the Man Born. Do you know what? I can think of so many people that I've always wanted to interview over the years, and Peter was always up there at the top of my list. And not only that, he was so kind and gave me time. And for someone starting out on hospital radio like I was, he was lovely. He really was. And of course, he worked on so many things over the years, guest appearances in so many shows, and The Bounder, that is one you've got to check out that won't get repeated. But I tell you what, have a look for that with George Cole. That is brilliant. But just so many great works over the years. So we should all raise a glass to Peter Bowles, who has sadly died today. And this is my radio interview from the 22nd of January, 2008. Apologies for the sound quality. It's not the greatest quality, but I remember recording it at my old house and putting the phone on speakerphone and having my little dictaphone next to the speaker of the phone. That's how I recorded at the time. Technology's progressed, but at least I've captured it. Enjoy.
Okay, now on St. Luke's Sound, we're joined by a true gentleman with many famous programmes under his name. He is the one and only Mr. Peter Bowles. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Very good to hear. And it was fantastic to see over Christmas that you was on primetime BBC 1 2 days on the trot. On Boxing Day you appeared in ballet shoes, and of course on Christmas Day in To the Man Born. What was it like to bring back, of course, To the Man Born after 25 years?
Well, actually 26 years, although it was our 25th wedding anniversary. Well, the sort of thing was, it was as though we'd never stopped. I mean, we all got together, and we did a read-through, and everything just fell into place. All the chemistry was still there. What was delightful was there were a lot of people at the read-through, 40 or 50, I would think, of various people, various departments and assistants, and a lot of them were young, and they'd never seen it before, and it was lovely to hear them laughing at the read-through, so that was nice.
And do you think there's potential for it to come back again this Christmas? Because the ratings were really good for it, weren't they?
They were wonderful. Well, I happen to know that scripts are being worked on at the moment.
Well,
so there's every chance that, all being well, that it will come back.
That's fantastic news. And of course, going back to the original series, what are your fondest memories from playing Richard Devere?
The nice clothes I got to wear. Everything I had was made for me. I wore all my own clothes in the in the one we've just done. I think that and its huge success, it changed my life because I became very marketable, and I had quite a few ideas of my own for television series and things which nobody had wanted to listen to before. But after the success of To the Man Born, people did want to listen to what I had to say, so it changed my life.
Brilliant. And you're also appearing in a film which is coming out in a couple of weeks, I believe. I've seen the trailer and it does look really good. You play someone different from a character you'd normally play as well, isn't he? He's a bit of a bad guy in Freebird, isn't he?
Yes, yes, that's right. Have you seen some of that?
Well, I've seen the trailer online, yes, and it does look like a very good film. It's a British one, isn't it?
It is a British one, yes. I've got another film coming out as well. I've just been told it's opening at the beginning of February, called The Bank Job, where I play something quite different again. I'm playing a sort of, in Freebird, I play sort of gangsters having a breakdown, and in the other one I play the head of MI5, so couldn't be more different.
That's brilliant. So that's two great projects for this year, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And, well, one of my all-time favourite appearances from yourself is in the comedy Rising Damp, of course, written by Eric Chappell. Was it good fun to work on that show?
Yes, it was. It was wonderful, and that's what started the whole comedy thing, because before that I'd only done villains. I'd done many villains in Avengers and the Saint and all those sort of things. And it was through appearing in that I was offered, in fact, Only When I Laugh, which is also written by Eric Chappell. But Leonard was an old friend, because we'd been in rep for a year together, the Bristol Old Vic in the 50s. So it was lovely to work with him on that. It was very lovely.
That's brilliant. And going on to Only When I Laugh, do you think Archie, Figgis and the gang would still be in bed now if they did a reunion episode?
I think it would be an old folks home. Yes, well, we're all still alive. I know that. Despite the time we spend in hospital, we're all still alive.
How do you think television production has changed in the time you've worked in the industry, Peter?
Well, I don't know, because I've only done a couple of televisions, really.
Yeah.
In fact, if you take out the last two, which I've just done, I've only done two in the last, 16 years.
Mm.
I've been doing plays in the West End of London.
Yes.
I haven't been doing television, so I really couldn't tell you. I hardly watch television at all. I just watch the news, really.
Yes. There's a lack of sitcoms on our screen, isn't there, really, at present? Do you think that it's a crisis that can be solved? Is there any, do you think there's a future in the sitcom still?
I honestly have no idea. I just feel people keep complaining about it's not like it used to be. That's all I can say. And I know that, for example, Only When I Laugh went out on UK Gold, it got the highest ratings, got tremendous ratings. And certainly, when they put out things like Dad's Army and other shows like that, they get wonderful ratings on the repeat. So I think people miss that type of thing.
Yes.
But,
just moving on.
I think the producers always seem to be after very young people.
Yes. Yeah. Just touching on your West End plays, of course. What kind of roles have you got lined up for the future? Is there any theatre work lined up?
Yes, I'm going to do the first huge success that Alan Ayckbourn had, which is called Relatively Speaking.
Yes.
Which I think it was in 1965. It's never been redone. It's a wonderfully funny play. Michael Horton played the part that I'm going to play, and Richard Briers was the young man.
Ah, brilliant.
So I'm going to be doing that.
That's brilliant.
And we'll see what happens.
What kind of is it in a wide variety of ages that go to see your performances? Would you say?
Well, in the theatre?
Yes.
Oh yes, very much so. Oh yes.
Definitely.
I was down at Chichester last
Yes.
summer, and doing a wonderful play there called The Waltz of the Toreadors by Ennui. And there was a great cross-section, because when I played there before, which is some time ago, it was mostly middle to older, people. But this time, it was a tremendous cross-section. So I think young people are beginning, certainly, to go to the theatre much more, I think.
What advice would you give to any actors that were starting off now? I mean, obviously it's not an easy industry to get into, is it?
No, it certainly isn't. We hear about doctors being trained and physiotherapists being trained and then not being able to get jobs. But actors are trained too. There's an awful lot of drama schools and an awful lot of people studying drama, and there aren't many jobs to do, particularly as so many of the things that used to be there are now gardening or buying villas or looking at homes abroad or cooking or things that don't require actors.
Yes.
But my advice to any actor or actress is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, because nobody else will.
Yes.
Until your time comes. It's very difficult, but you have to, at all times, believe in yourself.
That's very good advice, that. And may I just take this opportunity to wish you all the best for the future, Peter. Lovely to talk to you. And as I say, thank you very much for appearing on St. Luke's Sound this evening.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Very nice talk to you. Bless you.
Bye.